I hope you have unlimited text messaging by Miss Garr. Chapter 47, Conversation 36, Big Boy Conversations. Anthony. So, I received some of your therapy artwork today. I'm slightly surprised that so much of it is semi-pornographic. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your lab sex fantasy is not happening. There's a rule. Semi-naked tyrants is really dangerous. I'm also surprised they got here so fast. It's only been a day since we last spoke. Since I have yet to hear reports of Agent dying, I don't think S.H.I.E.L.D. intercepted the FedEx guy. No, man. Good to know. Actually, I sent that after our conversation about how I paid for art school. Anthony. Yes, before Friday interfered and said something to you that probably made you figuring out how to break up with me politely. No, man. I'm not breaking up with you. Anthony, because you haven't read the Barnes therapy letters yet? No, man. I did. Anthony, and yet you still don't want to break up with me? No, man. You have really low self-esteem. Anthony, Dr. Suarez says that a lot. Apparently, most of my public persona is overcompensating for my perceived inadequacies. No, man. Because Howard spent your entire childhood comparing you to his own perfect version of me? Anthony, unfortunately, yes. It was nothing like the real Steve, except for your bravery and sheer stubbornness. It's not your fault that Howard had issues. No, man. Because he couldn't find me? Anthony, more like he worked on the Manhattan Project. Your doctor is working on your tendency to blame everything on yourself. You are not the center of the universe, Governor. Let others take responsibility for their own fuck-ups. No, man. We're working on it. Anthony, good. No, man. I'm glad that you at least didn't blame me for what happened to your parents. Anthony, I think I told you that before. No, man. But you're not going to lie in your therapy letters just to make me feel better. Anthony, because I was never planning on letting you see those, I tend to write what I'm really thinking. Today I wrote a 3-page letter to Pepper that mostly contains curse words and typed words screaming. I'm extra brutally honest when I don't expect other people to see what I'm writing. Anthony, so whatever you're thinking in your good little head, don't. The only person I blame for what happened is Hydra. I mean, seriously, they've been trying to kill my dad since before I was born. I would have found some other way if something different had happened on the train. No, man. Why are you mad at Pepper? Anthony, I'm only letting you get away with that subject change because I need to Pepper vent. Anthony, I found out today that Pepper and the new boy toy are also going to be at the gala that she's forcing me to go to, and I found out not from her, but from Twitter. I hate when I find stuff out like that from Twitter. No, man. I can understand why you're not happy about that. Anthony, I know we need to put a public appearance together. We need to show that we can still work together despite the fact that our romantic relationship fell to pieces. But I really, really don't want to do this. No, man. You're not looking forward to meeting the new boyfriend? Anthony, not at all. Robert is the 33-year-old CEO of his own tech startup. Yes, I feel inadequate around someone who went from food stamps to yachts all on his own without daddy's money. That's not even taking into account that he's screwing my ex-girlfriend. No, man. I think you would have made it without the leg up that Howard gave you. Actually, maybe it would have been better because you would have been creating what you wanted from the beginning instead of having to follow in his footsteps. Who knows, you could have a cure for cancer by now if you started right off the bat. Anthony, more like a real artificial heart and lungs, as well as a mechanical cure for paraplegia, because I've always been more mechanically minded. I'm working on it. No, man, I'm sure you are. Anthony, we already mentioned that I have low self-esteem. I'm really not looking forward to spending time with a guy whose six-pack is only slightly less impressive than yours. No, man. Are you upset about her moving on? Anthony, I think that's a really complicated question to answer because I'm happy I'm with you. And if I say I wish I was still with her, then that means I couldn't be with you. And I like where we are. No, man. I do too. Anthony, now I wish we started really talking to each other before I fucked things up so badly that you have to hide in another country. Yes. Now, do I wish we started really talking to each other before I fucked things up so badly that you have to hide in another country? Yes. No, man. But you don't wish you were still with Pepper. Anthony, no, I'm just a little upset about being traded in for a younger model. And it made me a little worried. You're going to want to do the same thing after you see me naked. Or maybe you'll realize that you should probably be with someone your own age. I come with a lot of baggage, and the stuff with Barnes is just a toiletry bag worth of it. No, man. I know, and I have my own baggage too.
I doubt everything fell apart because she wanted a younger model. You are a good-looking guy to me. And I have seen you naked before due to that incident with the homemade Pop-Tart machine. You inspired a lot of art. Anthony, that is why I now only wear flame-retardant materials when tinkering. Apparently, you make good use of your perfect memory, and have utilized that in your artwork, although my chest is not that smooth in real life. Now, man, check some of the other artwork. Also, I really don't care about the scars or the fact that biologically, you're older than I am. Shared experiences are more important. Anthony, I'm nearly 16 years older than you biologically anyway. That's a big difference. No, man. And I'm 6 months younger than your father. Most 30-somethings cannot understand me. Anthony, I may not either. No, man. But you're trying. And just before you say anything, no, I don't want to be with Bucky like that, even if he was suddenly exactly like he was when we were growing up. Anthony, good to know. No, man. I've also accepted that he's never going to be that person again. I'm not even the person I was back then, so I can't expect him to be after everything. I did a lot. Anthony, therapy works. Nomad, yes. Anthony, sometimes I think Pepper and I fell apart because we stopped being who we were when we first fell in love with each other. Too much stuff has happened in the interim. Nomad, that's possible. Anthony, association is not always cause. I wish I could figure out why it fell apart with Pepper so that it will work this time around. Nomad, even if you did figure out the reason, it may not apply to us. So why put so much energy into second-guessing yourself? Anthony, I think it's the engineer in me. I need to fix things. And if I can't fix things, I need to figure out what went wrong so it won't happen when I design something else. Nomad, people are not robots. Anthony, I know that, but things can still be learned by examining what went wrong. Anthony, I think one of the major contributing factors to why things fell apart was Pepper and I stopping friends. We were friends first, and then once we started sleeping together, that stopped. We stopped talking to each other, we stopped sharing stuff with each other, because apparently I never figured out how to do both types of relationships simultaneously. I'm trying to master that this time around. Nomad, and you're afraid that once we're together physically, that it will all blow up? Anthony, oh, I know it will, and I'm just hoping that we've built up enough of a foundation in the meantime that we're still left standing after the explosion. Nomad, I read what you said about my best friend, and I still want to be with you, so I think it will be okay. Anthony, I'm really happy about that. Nomad, I'm also happy that you no longer want to kill him. Anthony, I'm trying to make peace with what happened. Also a few months removed, and I think you are right when you said a couple months ago that I would have regretted it if you had let me go through with killing him. I'm glad you stopped me. Nomad, I am too. We wouldn't be here right now if you did. Anthony, I like where we are. Nomad, me too. Anthony, especially when you send me erotic artwork. Because though I love all the work of me in the nude, I love everything you did of yourself and of us together. And you were worried about your lack of imagination. Nomad, I'm better at drawing things. You'll understand when my therapy stuff gets there. Anthony, I look forward to viewing, although I really wish you were here. Nomad, because if I was with you, you wouldn't have to be by yourself the first time you met Pepper's new boyfriend. Anthony, oh, that's not the only reason I wish you were here. I also want to try the position in drawing number 5, but maybe the other way around. Are you really that flexible? Nomad, yes. Anthony, what exactly did you do with Agent Scary? And is there video? Nomad, a lot. And God, I hope not. Anthony, now you know I'm going to be looking for footage to keep me warm with you in another country. Nomad, you're just going to have to make do with the artwork. Does Pepper know about us? Anthony, she knows about Stefan, so she is not going to pity me, although the media will when I show up stack. Nomad, I would be okay if you went with somebody as a friend. Anthony, that's good to know. I will think about it. Nomad, why haven't you told Pepper that it's really me? Anthony, other than your safety, I don't think she will handle me actually dating you very well, because I may have called out your name once or twice when we were dating. That's in addition to Siberia. She wasn't that happy with the picture of me being all black and blue because of you ending up on Twitter. Nomad, Tony, you did what? I think that may be why things fell apart. Freddy,
a contributing factor.
Nomad. Where is Tony?
Friday, Miss Rodriguez has informed him that he needs to speak with a representative from SI Legal.
Nomad. Is this an excuse or did this actually happen?
Friday, I'm not at liberty to say. I am still on probation for sending you the therapy letters. I do not want to end up on a tiny antique CPU in Queens.
Nomad. Dating Tony is hard.